What's going on YouTube? Another knife video. We're looking at the Benchmade slip joint, the Proper. This knife has gotten a little bit of a mixed reviews, I would say. So I wanted to check one out for myself. I do like slip joints. It's been a while since I had one. I got the green micarta one. You can see here I've handled it. I wanted the green micarta over the red G10. I wasn't a huge fan of the red G10. I love micarta. This green micarta is actually super well done on this knife. But I liked the idea of a modern slip joint with a modern steel, with the screw or Torx construction. You can take the knife apart. All those things appealed to me on this. Benchmade has a pretty good reputation. I don't say excellent anymore after my there's been a few QC issues lately with them. I had one on the Anthem, and there's this kind of a well-known thing in the industry. But for the most part, they're solid. They have a great warranty. They're made in the U.S. They usually have good materials. So wanted to give it a shot. I used to be heavy into slip joints for a while there with Northwoods, GC, and I've actually saw off most of those because I don't know, I just went through a phase, I guess. I still enjoy them and like them, and I think I can see myself going back into slip joints. So this was kind of a starting point for that, I think. But let's just go ahead and get started and talk about this one a little bit and why it has some controversy around, not some controversy, but some mixed reviews is a better way to put it. So the fit and finish on this is actually pretty good. There's not a lot of gaps in the back spring here. There's a little bit on this side here, so it's not fantastic. It's not perfect. It's good, but it's not perfect. So you see a little bit of gap here. It's a little uneven right there. The action on this, it does have a half stop, which is nice, but it's it's different. We'll talk about that a little bit more. It snaps into place there. So it's a good looking blade, S30V sheep's foot style blade. It's got a good sized nail nick. But I find it's actually very easy just to pinch open. You don't even need to use the nail nick if you don't want to. You just pinch it with your thumb and your index finger or your pointer finger. But it does have a good nail nick, so it's going to be pretty easy to open with that as well. Now, I like the aesthetics. I like the looks. The ergonomics of the handle are very nice. You'll notice that here in a second. But one of the things that I had read, and I'd handled a red one after I had ordered this one, and one thing I feel like it's a very common theme with this knife is the back spring is not strong. The spring is not strong at all. So in the half stop position, it should spring back a little bit. Let me demonstrate this with another. I've got a few slip joints we're going to compare. I've got a GEC here. This is the number 15 pattern boy's knife, crown lifter, also in green micarta. See how when it's in the half stop position and the spring, you press like this and the spring kind of pops the knife back into place. That's all created by that back spring. Notice how it just stays and doesn't spring back? It should kind of pop back. Oh. Alright. Give me 2 seconds. I meant to have this cold steel slip joint with me in this video, so I went and grabbed it. So this also has a half stop. This is the lucky one. Notice how it springs back? It's because it's got proper spring tension. So you see it in the traditional GEC, you see it in a modern slip joint in the cold steel Lucky. The other slip joint I have here doesn't have a half stop, but we'll show you the spring pressure here as well in a second for the Boker Urban. So that was one thing that was weird. That's just, it shouldn't, there's no spring there. So when you put it in the open position, it's the same way. You should have some spring back, we'll call it. See how I'm pressing on that and the blade goes forward, but then it pops back into place. That's kind of how slip joint should work. That way you don't shut your knife on your finger when you're using it for things. This, see, no spring. I can keep just pushing it. Eventually it's gonna get to the half stop. It's not gonna close on your finger, I don't think. It's just one of those things that for the money, a slip joint like this should not have. For the cost of this slip joint, it should have solid spring pressure there, and it should be able to snap back into place, which it does not do. So it's kind of a sloppy action, I would call it, and it doesn't have, yeah, it doesn't have the best walk and talk at all. So it is Benchmade's first forte into slip joints, which is, again, I like a lot of things about it, but that's kind of one of the important things that they kind of needed to nail, was the walk and talk, the spring pressure. You know, some knives have stronger springs than others, but this, and this, I would say this just GEC 15 from a lot of the GECs I've had is actually kind of on the softer side of the spring. It's not as stiff as some, but you see how it springs back, and then the half stop position, it's the same. The Cold Steel Lucky, another modern slip joint with S35 yen steel. This is a great little knife, by the way. Has the same. It actually has, it may even have a stiffer spring than the GEC. So Cold Steel was able to nail the slip joint action. The Boker Urban here, that's what this one's called, Urban 1 or something like that. It doesn't have a half stop. It's like kind of like a Swiss Army, you know, sack. It doesn't have a half stop, but in the open position, it's got really good spring pressure. See how it comes. So that's 3 different slip joints here that we've demonstrated that have that, and Benchmade somehow, when they manufactured this knife and, you know, decided, hey, let's make a slip joint, didn't get that right. I don't think I've ever had a slip joint, and I've had quite a few, some modern, a lot of traditional, that doesn't do that. It's so strange to me. Otherwise, the fit and finish is pretty solid. The centering's good on it. I like the micarta scales quite a bit. It's actually a really good looking slip joint. I like the S3V steel, but this is a deal breaker. This kind of slop, this kind of lack of spring pressure is a deal breaker on a slip joint, guys. It's really not acceptable, especially for the price point, 115 bucks. Nope. You can get this Cold Steel Lucky on Amazon for $52, I think, was what I paid. It's got real carbon fiber. It's got S35 VN steel, even better still than the proper. It has good, nice half stop, good spring pressure. It's got a great action. It's got great walk and talk. It has a pocket clip even. If you want to clip it on your pocket, it weighs literally nothing. It weighs like 0.8 ounces. And it has a pocket clip you can remove as well. You could also use this as a tie clip or something kind of cool. That's a good option, but it's only 50 bucks. Now again, made in the USA, made in Taiwan, different there. The Boker Urban, which I really actually like quite a bit, is 12C27 Sandvik steel, so not quite as good as steel, but it doesn't have a half stop. But other than that, it has really good action, really good centering. It's got a nice spring pressure. I mean, it's got a pocket clip as well. Deep carry, you can put it tip up, tip down. It also has screw together construction that you can take the knife apart very easily. So it has some of the same things, and so does the Cold Steel Lucky, by the way. You have Torx bits. You can take this knife apart if needed. Those are just 2 better options in my opinion, and this one's only like 30 bucks. I don't know, I think the glass breaker all that much, but $30 isn't bad. The Lucky, 52. The GEC 15, the boy's knife with the crown lifter here. Cap lifter, this one's called a crown lifter, but it's basically a bottle opener, cap lifter, and you've got a sheep's foot blade. Almost a worm, no, sheep's foot. For $77, I believe, on DLT trading. Nice micarta, perfect back spring. I mean, the fit and finish on GECs is still top notch, and I don't. The only downside to a traditional like this is there is no, you know, it's all pinned together. There's no way to disassemble the knife if you want to. You don't typically need to. Centering on this has been perfect. Just a great example of a traditional slip joint. So, my advice is skip the Benchmade proper. get a GEC. If you really want a tradition or or a Northwoods, if you want a modern slip joint, you can take with a better steel, a modern steel. This is 1095 steel on the GEC. If you want, better steel, get the cold steel Lucky. If you want to, even Sandvik steel is good for you. The Boker Urban 1 here with the single blade. It comes in a bunch of different colors. This is green G10. Now has this black G10. There's carbon fiber. Another good option. No half stops. So if that's a deal breaker, then consider that. But that's only going to be $35, and you got, if you want to clip it with the deep carry clip, you can, or you can remove those clips. That's only like I said, $30. There's better options out there for a modern slip joint, or my first recommendation again is just to get a traditional slip joint. So it's too bad Benchmade. It was a good attempt at a slip joint, but they missed the biggest thing, which is the action, the walk and talk. The spring pressure is just not there. I mean, that's bad. It should spring back right there, and it should never be able to do this. So, too bad Benchmade. That's 0 for 2 in the last 2 Benchmades for me. I was really excited for this one. I liked the modern steel. I loved the micarta handles. Kind of a brown green micarta. It's a handsome looking knife, but the action on it is just not up to par. So here you go, guys. There's a review of the Benchmade Anthem compared to a few modern slip joints as well as a traditional GEC. Again, not recommended. Spend your money elsewhere for the amount of money you're spending. If it was a $50 slip joint, maybe I'd be okay with it, but again, you could even get something that's better. If you want one with a good steel, like a modern super steel, the cold steel Lucky is a really good option. The fit and finish this is superb on this. It's got a great action. It's very, very sharp, and it's teeny, but it still gives you a good amount of handle. And look, it's got spring there. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. We will see you on the next one.